Hey, everybody. Jamie here from the Keeping It Real group, powered by the incredible Crossroads Realty. And yes, we are back in the studio at the Crossroads offices in Toms River, New Jersey. That's Ocean County, anybody keeping score at home. We have Donna behind the controls again, as always. Happy to be here, right, Donna? She's giving me the nod, yes. It's been a while since we've done a show. Some stuff was happening. We got some pretty good news or big news. I ended up getting my broker's license. That's right. I passed the test. You believe it? And I am now a broker salesperson.
Congratulations.
Got to say that, right? Thank you, sir. And had a couple health issues, which, needed to be taken care of. And they're all taken care of now. I'm at about 90%. But like I say, you can't keep an animal like me chained down for only so long. I'm back running free in the wilderness. With all that monkey business being talked about, today I have a great guest. We've been talking about bringing him on. Schedules just weren't working. I am just, start off with saying I'm so glad that I really got to know you as I made some changes within the company. And I'm just so happy to have you here finally. Today I got the incredible, the king of commercial, the Toms River Executive Office Manager, George Shenewolf is in the house today.
I got to tell you. That's some intro.
Or we could call you Pop now, right? Yeah, you joined the club.
That's my
the
new
grandfather.
title.
Go ahead.
Title.
Let's talk about the baby Francis, right, Frankie?
Yep. 2 weeks ago, approximately, Francis Henry was born. Over the top, excited, new phase in our life, being grandparents, and me and Kristen are enjoying every minute of it. It's only a short couple of weeks, but it's amazing so far.
Well, your face lit up as soon as I brought the Pop. It's a whole different ball game. It really is. And
it's pretty cool.
It's a cool club, man. It's a cool club. I'm all grandkidded out from the weekend. I had my little guy, and
awesome.
I'm surprised I'm out of the house today, but it's congratulations.
Thank you.
Congratulations. We're happy for you and your family.
Yeah,
so
awesome.
it's a great thing. Wait, it's going to be so much fun. It gets so even it's nice. It's you get to give them back.
Yeah,
but
that's what we feel
the
now.
time, but the way they look at you is just cool, and they come and hug you. To me, that melts me. I know it does Donna too. So
I have great pictures of that right now already. But,
it's coming. Believe me.
We're not up all night doing the feeding, so we sleep pretty good at night, and we get to enjoy them. And
that's
give
nice.
Them back.
Good. So George, let's talk a little bit about Crossroads. We're going to get into some commercial stuff because George is the king of the commercial over here. And we're going to talk a little bit about Byron, some stories that you have, which we were talking a little bit before off the air, and amazing. But how long have you been with the company now? You started here?
Pretty much. I had a brief stint over the bridge at the Ann Turton, and the only reason why I put my license there was because I lived over there. And I'm like, wow, this would be great. I can walk to work every day.
Right.
And didn't work out. There was not good management there. And I got talking to Mark, which we did some business together prior to this. And he says, you have to come here because I said how I want to really just focus on my commercial. And he took me upstairs in the conference room, and we must have sat there. It felt like 5 hours. Mark can hold the conversation.
Yes, he can.
And he was convincing. And he says, you have to come here, and I'm not letting you out of this room until you do. And it was one of the best decisions I've made.
Agreed. Yeah. Same here. So, how long?
About 15 years here.
Wow, okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
So, you got your license about 16 years ago? 15,
Thereabout,
years.
Yeah.
All right. Now, you were doing homes as well?
Yeah, so I had my whole life was sort of gearing up for this. I was a builder and building developments, and I've owned my own property, so I was doing deals for myself and selling our own homes. Basically, we had a sales staff, but I could be involved with it and all the contracts. So been doing that for a long time, did some commercial projects for myself, and it was just a natural fit to go heavily into it.
Nice. So now you're over here with Mark. Back when you're in your youth, when you're a youth, you're still a youth. You got any Byron stories? And I mean, you must have a ton of stuff. I really wish I could have met him.
Yeah, I really wish I had more time with him. I think we worked together. I worked for him for, I think it was less than a year before he passed. So I always felt a little robbed of that. I mean, he was just an icon in this area, and that's not just because he started this company. I mean, he was involved with so much stuff in this area. To this day, people come to this office or people I meet on the street. I knew Byron. We did this together, or he brought me this, and just so much. I was briefly telling you about Lucky Leo's on the boardwalk, Leo Whalen, who called in one day. He had a strip center, and he was renegotiating his lease with like Welsh Farms or something, and he just kind of wanted to get an idea on the pricing of the market. And we got talking, and I used to go to his arcade when I was a kid.
Me too, yeah. Lucky
and
Leo's.
He knew me. He said, we got talking. It must have been a half an hour, and he goes, Shenewolf, how's your sister doing? And it was, these small icons that are big to us locally,
of course,
call into this office, and it's like it's kind of cool to talk to these people.
Yeah, to see the guys who are actually Lucky Leo's. Yeah. Wow, I remember as a little kid playing the cranes.
But he did a lot of business with him. Byron's the reason why we all have jobs today. He sold a lot of the land to Hovnanian when they were building Holiday City. Anything major that you could think of in Toms River, for the most part, he was part of it.
Yeah. He had this vision too, back when this was a sand road back in the day.
He was a visionary. The reason why we're in this building today, and the reason why we had which we called our Toms River West office, which was on the other side of the parkway, is he wanted to be the first building that you saw when you came off the parkway. And that's why we were here. Like every location, if you think about locations that we merged or closed up, was in a prominent corner or a spot, because that was very important. No internet, so he was just such a visionary on everything that happened around here, and kind of hard to do that now because everything is built up. Today, if you wanted to kind of do these types of things, it's developed around here.
Yeah, you have to go south.
He was here before the mall was built. He was a big part of, from what I understand, is I think they helped with some fundraising and things when they were building the hospital. They were a very big part of building and that whole community hospital.
Well, that mall, the Ocean County Mall, you were saying earlier, that was all woods. Like there was nothing over there in Toms River, I guess. When was that built? 60s or 50s?
I would say around that, but I know there was a gentleman in here. He had Byron sold him land north of the mall, and he was going to build a building for his business. And Byron said, Byron's a little, dead north of that area. I don't know if this is a good idea. He said, no, trust me, it's going to get developed. And sure enough, he probably knew the mall was coming. The mall comes. The guy is thrived, and now he's at the tail end of his career, wanting to sell his building, and he comes in and tells us his story.
Nice.
It's pretty wild.
Yeah, wow, that's great. And you want to hear stuff like that. How many years ago, and the guy still remembers that?
Well, one of mine that I really like was, and I grew up over at the bridge, so Berkeley Sweet Shop, that was on the boardwalk. Love that place.
The original one down on the end there.
Yeah,
I used to love that place.
Got burnt down in the fire,
unfortunately.
So Byron was partners and did some business with that guy, and he passed, but his wife is still alive. So she called in one day, and I got on the phone with her, and man, we must have been on the phone for 40 minutes, and she was telling me all about it, and she's not a fan of Hershey chocolate for sure. She said it's no good. They use some other kind of chocolate.
Really?
Yeah, she was not a fan. But I said, how did you come up with that name? And she said, well, we started in Asbury, and the Berkeley Hotel was the place to be at the time. And all the businesses around it were called Berkeley Sweet Shop, Berkeley Barbershop, Berkeley whatever. So she said when we decided to leave Asbury, we obviously took the name, went to the boardwalk, and it was a really cool just conversation.
That store that was down in the Seaside Park end of the
Yeah.
boardwalk, I still remember it as a kid with the machines in it, the taffy machine in there, and the apples. I mean, you go get an apple now, well, it's probably close to $20 now, but
Probably,
it was just the caramel and the red
Yeah,
ones,
yeah.
with the coconut on it, right? Right, Donna?
It was
And-
great. You
oh, my
she
God,
just
yeah, I
told me
remember
how
that.
they made all this stuff. And
Yeah.
It was, for me, I mean, most people may not like it. It was a cool conversation for me.
Oh, so I could talk about stuff like that all day. That's great. And then, still to come back to here, after all the years. And, well, he did just about everything along 37 at one point, or was involved with it, right?
Yeah, it's just, you hear people talk about Tom's River Legends and Sitta and these names. He's attached to it all.
He's right with it, yeah.
I don't know, a lot of people don't even know, but Diane Turton started here at Crossroads.
I think Mark had mentioned that once to me in a conversation.
Ron Rosetto was a big commercial broker
Ron.
in this area. They were really good friends. I mean, up until, Byron was in the hospital, and him and Ron, Ron was in the hospital with him trying to make a deal.
Ron, another good guy.
Great guy,
But he
yeah.
told me also this. He was his mentor.
Yeah.
Which that's not too bad of a mentor to have.
Ron's like, he's a good guy. He's like family here. Him and
Yeah,
Mark and George. They've known him for so long. So like,
We actually went out to dinner with him and Diane one night. It was a real nice. Where did we go? To Hangar 21 out in Lakehurst.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, guy likes to eat and he likes
Yeah.
good food. That's for sure.
That's for sure.
And he's a great realtor. And you're a good guy, Ron, too.
Yeah.
You're a good guy.
Great
you too,
commercial
Diane.
broker.
But I mean, that's what it's cool. That's one of the great reasons of being here at Crossroads is because we keep it together. Like agents from other offices should help agents from other offices, and we do here. Which I love that when the open house thing comes out on Fridays. And you know who the listings are, basically. I know, most. And then you see different people from different offices doing open houses. That's to me, that's great. I mean, there's always a little bit of a competition there, but we're all family.
We have to keep that going. And
Yeah.
it's something that always impressed me when I came here, and probably why I'm still here, is, agents, although we compete for the same business, I'll bring up Tina Orth, God bless, I miss her. She was top, one of the top agents in the office, but she would stop what she was doing to help you. She really did. She wasn't like, oh, you're competing against me. She had a heart of gold, and she would help you with anything. But don't go on a listing appointment against her. She'll tear you to shreds, but she'll help you, and then when it's over.
Well, we got another guy in the company, Jim Calero.
Kaleo?
I sit and I talk with this guy when I'm in the office, and he's another one. This guy's, what is he, 92? He's going to be 92.
Yeah.
His birthday's coming up. We were talking about it in our meeting last week, and he'll sit there and tell you, like, we had probably an hour conversation the other day about flipping, because this guy's, he wrote the book on it, basically. I mean, the way he was explaining it to me, but he always takes the time to sit there and talk with me, because I'm amazed by that stuff, and I keep telling him, dude, I want to be like you.
Me too.
Listen,
that's so important.
Perfectly
in this
dressed.
business.
Yeah, and he's a good guy, too.
Yeah.
And he could say, oh, yeah, and walk away from me, but
I wish I could dress like him. That guy.
me too,
is
man. He's a
squared
guy.
away.
He's him and Green, Steve.
Yeah. We're fortunate to have him here.
Yeah, very fortunate. But that's, supposed to, even like when we all get together for the company throws the functions, and we all, everybody from the offices come, and really we get to mingle and talk, and that's how we remain.
Culture,
yeah, I love it.
We worked at it.
Yes, you did.
We make sure it continues. We have our events, and you get to see people from other offices.
Which is nice. And Mark's always there, so it's always a fun time. And Chris, you too. You're always there too.
Yeah, no, we have a good time when we get together.
So the election's over. Whether you're happy or sad with the results, but we got new stuff that's going to be happening. So I think you see things loosening up.
The market is still good. We talk about this in some of our sales meetings. So inventory, residentially and commercially, we're fighting the same fight. There's not a lot of inventory. But yet, and I can't speak to all the offices because I don't know all their numbers, like our office residentially and commercially, like the numbers are good. You know, the agents are working hard. They're getting the deals done.
Right.
It's not reflective in large amounts of inventory. So it's kind of shocking that the numbers are where they are because we just looked at Ocean County as a whole, and the supply of homes was like 2.1 month supply.
Wow.
Which is not it's strictly a seller's market.
Oh, yeah.
You know, you want to be 5-6 months would be real healthy. It's not a buyer's market, it's not a seller's market. We're at 2. So it's very tight still, and we see it commercially.
Right.
You know,
Same thing.
I've had some guys with some big money on a 1031, and we have nowhere to park it. You know, which stinks. You know.
Yeah. Yeah, I would say, especially when you're talking a lot of money.
But I think moving forward, you know, like I said, it's still busy. Next year, 2025, I think will be good. I have to imagine the rates are going to start to trickle back.
Well, yeah, we were with Nick this week, and he had, you know, what he feels. He gave us his prediction, and actually I'm going to have him and Matt in here next.
Oh, that'd be good.
So, yeah, probably in the next week or so we're going to do another one, and we're going to definitely get into that a lot more. He has a rosy future.
Yeah.
You know, not
I
maybe
think
so
so.
rosy, but yeah, he's feeling that with in the real estate, our industry is going to do okay. You know, which is good.
Yeah. I mean, listen, people are still making money. I know it's more costly to live and things, but people are still making good money, and we see it on the investment side of things that there's a lot of money on the sidelines that eventually is going to come into the market. So
And just people are spending because you go to restaurants, they're all still full. I mean, the good ones.
Yeah.
And we happen to be up on the boardwalk this weekend. A ton of people down the shore.
Yeah.
A ton of people.
Yeah.
So just they're spending. There's people spending money.
Yeah.
All right. So I have another question for you. Me being a lowly little real estate agent, and I want to just speaking for other people. You know, just using my name because it's my show and I can do that. I want to get into commercial real estate. I mean, everybody hears, and I'd love to get into it, and sure there are a lot of other agents, but you get a little intimidated by it, and like, where do you start? Like with the real estate, with the housing, as far as my end of it, it was just my sphere of influence, you know what I mean, which started it and spread it out. It's the same, I guess, with the commercial, or, I mean, how does a regular Joe like me say, hey, George, I want to get into commercial?
So it's definitely more of sphere of influence. So it's partly that for sure. It's partly being educated. It's commercial is all about numbers, and so it's not about the beautiful kitchen. It's not about any of that stuff. The numbers work. I have a building I'm selling. I got 3 offers on it. None of them even saw it yet. There's no need to. They've seen the pictures. They will get in there eventually, but it's what are the numbers? So. And people are intimidated, too, about commercial because it's different than what we know. It's pretty much the paperwork and things that we do is like opposite of what we do residentially. So there's a bit of a learning curve. But we have a couple commercial classes that I teach. That would be a really good place to start. Just to, the first class that we did was more about terms and words.
Yeah, I was at that one.
Yeah. So it's like you hear triple net, you hear this, you hear that. So it was a little bit about, all right, what does that actually mean? So we went through a lot of that stuff. Then we have some other classes where we start to get into other things. But we also have monthly commercial meetings. So anybody is welcome to come, and
it's the first Thursday usually of the month, right?
Yeah. And we talk a lot about what's going on downtown. So John Brown's on the bid, and he fills us in what's happening down there. Me and Mark talk about what deals we're working on, what we're looking for, who's looking for this. That's how deals come together. But when we see that there's some newer folks in there, we tend to talk more educating them and talk about deals so they can be exposed to more stuff. We always tell people, don't be afraid of it, because there are people that know a cousin or somebody that has a strip center that they want to sell, and they may not have interest in commercial, but bring it to me. I'll connect you with an agent. You can at least get yourself a referral. You can partner up with a commercial agent and work on it together, and you guys can work out some arrangements. So there's a million ways to do it. So never be afraid of it. Perfect example. Teresa in the Barrier Island office she's part of a church in Point Pleasant. They're looking for
Teresa Barola?
Yeah.
Yeah, nice woman.
Yeah, really nice. And she's working on a commercial or a church rather, and they may buy land and build. They may lease a space. So there's a lot of scenarios. So I've been helping her, and then she said, "Would you mind coming to the church and meeting some of the board members and the priests?" And so I sat with them and we talked. They had a lot of questions. But she's doing a great job, and she's never really done much commercial.
Right.
She's really good at gathering information and finding it for them. And so, I just help her along, and I'll help her any way I can.
Wow.
That's like a big undertaking, especially if they buy raw land.
Yeah.
And then build. You got to make sure you can build what you want to build. So I've been speaking with her church, and
Township.
Yeah, whatever I could do to help her. So,
Wow.
We're here. Mark's been doing it longer than me, obviously, and he's always willing to help. He loves to talk about this stuff because we're passionate about it.
Yeah, well, it shows. It shows by all the signs down Route 37.
we do stay busy. That's for sure.
Yeah, and Hooper, and just about any major road in Toms River. Wow, that's interesting stuff. Yeah, because I have friends that own a couple strip malls, but he's not ready to sell them, and I'm, I sold a house for him, so hopefully, I can get. But
great.
I stay friends with him, but yeah, it does seem like a little intimidating in the beginning, but that's some great info for all you agents out there. Don't be scared.
No.
Don't be afraid. George is here to help.
Like I said, we have classes. We have there's a lot of ways to get involved, right? Through just come to the meetings, and you may like it, you may not like it, but it's a good business. It takes a little longer to close deals. They're a lot bigger. We've been on deals for a couple of years. We've been on deals that are short. If you sell a building, it moves relatively quick.
Right.
But if you're buying land that they have to get approvals for,
EPA, everything gets involved.
So people get a little bit with that kind of stuff, but you're also not doing anything. It's like the money's in, bank. When it closes, it closes,
And then you just do a letter of intent. Right,
when
yeah,
you make
in
an
the
offer,
beginning.
it's a letter of intent.
And it goes to the attorneys then.
Then the attorneys will do the contract. We can't, by law, draft.
So it is like, it's the opposite.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. It's, and then when they do the contract, so we'll do a letter of intent. Everybody's agreed to it. We send it to the lawyers. The lawyers will get the contract and go back and forth, just like they do an attorney review.
Yeah.
Until the contract is perfect, and then everybody signs it, and you're bound from the day you sign it. You're bound to what you're signing versus...
So that process, unlike, with a house that you try to get in and out of AR in 3 days,
Yep.
What's that period? I guess it'd be depending on how big, but that could be up to weeks, right?
So once the LOI is signed, it could take a couple weeks. It depends on the attorneys, really.
Right.
How quickly are they going to work to get the contract together? Once that happens, but I would say generally 3 to 4 weeks on a decent-sized deal. But it's really dictated by the attorneys. I mean, there's some super slow ones out there that can kill your deal. Because you can have an accepted LOI, which means you're not bound to each other. Something better could come in, and they can accept it because you don't have a contract.
Same as at the house, in attorney review.
Yeah.
Yeah, wow.
So, there's definitely nuances to it, but it's really good stuff. It's, it's just different. It's not, like I said, about the kitchen, the yard, the this, the that. It's
what
numbers.
You make. Yeah, numbers. It's all about the numbers.
So how you present yourself might be a little bit different than, residentially too, because these guys are looking for people they can rely on.
Nice.
And so it's definitely different.
And then it's the same, I guess, once you talk to one, you do a good job, he's going to talk to someone else. Yeah. So.
Yeah, and that's what happens with me. I deal with some guys that own a lot of property, and, when their friend says, well, who does your leasing or he'll give them my name, and that's how you kind of get to meet people and grow your business. But
same thing, yeah. All right, that's cool.
But just being with people that own buildings and businesses, and if you spend your time with these people, this is how it comes up.
Nice.
Yeah.
Now, are we allowed to talk about our?
Yeah, we talk about anything you want.
Because I know you're pretty excited about the.
Oh yeah.
Are we allowed to talk about that?
Yeah.
Crossroads is obviously we're moving. George is pretty. I took a tour of the building last week with George. Wow, waterfront overlook. You can bring your boat to work.
Yeah, it's right on.
Go
the
right
water.
out fishing from work.
Yeah, so we're gonna move the Toms River Executive Office and the corporate offices. Mark, Chris, Kim, everybody that's working upstairs to a new home, which is at Spinnaker's Cove on Water Street, and building that overlooks the river.
Yeah, it's nice.
We're just gonna have a nice new office. I mean, we were gonna build a building, which, with the way the town is with approvals and anti-development at the moment, this opportunity just fell in our lap, and it was probably the right move, because to build a building, it was 2 years. We were going to be displaced for 2 years. With this is a couple months. Like,
right.
We're hoping to be there at the beginning of the year.
And then that's a 3-floor building.
3-floor building.
And the other 2 floors obviously are occupied.
They're occupied right now. I mean, we're going to occupy the whole first floor.
Yeah, I saw that.
And then plans to grow into the rest of the building, where when we can get space back from tenants, we'll take space back and do different things and move our, have a training center again there, and
webcast studio.
Hey, that's on the plan. Already.
Yeah. You showed me that. I'm pretty excited about that.
But it's just a nice new open workspace with views of the river and just a more modern office and a cool place to work.
Very cool place.
Yeah.
Walking distance to
Water Street Grill.
Water Street. Yeah, that's always a plus.
So I'm really excited about it.
Yeah, it's a really nice place. Yeah. I'm excited too, seeing that for the company. It's just, it's a cool building. It's really nice.
Yeah.
You can see the name
excited.
what we were talking about along the top there. It'd be nice.
That'd
Especially
be
even by boat, you'd see it too.
Oh, yeah.
Which,
If we could pull that off if the town lets us.
That would be real nice.
Yeah. So, it's just, we're going to have hopefully a little bit of seating or something outside where you can, in the summer, if you wanted to, work out there, have lunch out there.
Yeah,
whatever.
that's nice.
It's just.
Now we got a place to see the fireworks on the river.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
What? Who said that?
Yeah, we'll have to have a little party.
Listen, don't threaten me with a good time like that.
But, we're excited for this.
Yeah, some big things happening in the company, and I'm glad you came in today. I'm glad we got to talk.
Yeah,
I mean,
me too.
We talk so much now. We see each other quite a bit.
We've been threatening to do this podcast for a long time.
It's been a while, since I started doing them. But we're gonna get a couple of them in the can now, because we are gonna lose the studio. I'm sure sooner than later, for at least a month. I would think. So
short amount of time just to break it down, set it back up.
Yeah, there's a lot of wires in here, so I offered Chris to help, because you do use the studio.
Yeah.
But George, thank you so much.
Thanks
I
for
appreciate
having me.
you coming in.
Yeah.
You do another one, we'll do it.
Yeah,
But
why
and
not?
even more congratulations on you being a grandfather, man.
Thank you so much. That's awesome.
It's the best.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, everybody. So I thought this was great. What do you think, Donna? Just one more thing before we go. I am definitely heavily involved in the leading the RE Leading Heroes program. I'm actually shooting a video tomorrow for it. All you videos, all you EMS, police, fire, active and non-active military, I'm giving back part of my commission, and I'll have a team of Advisors Mortgage. What's that? It's the Advisors with Matt Pete Patterson and Nick Esposito. I have Steve Green from Consumer's Choice Title and Alan Thompson on board with me, and we're all giving back. And this is money right to you at the closing table, all right? More than that to come. George, thank you so much, my friend, for coming in. I value you as a friend, and I'm glad you came. Donna, let's shut her down. See you, everybody.